you know, in life, everything that happens spontaneously has a lot more value than anything that you pre-plan with your intellect and say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. Do you feel in the overall scheme of things, Feather, whether all this is happening, and what specific knowledge have you gained since you came here that is in any significant way meaningful as opposed to everything that you had learned before?
Yeah, I was based very much on Advaita Vedanta.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I always, yeah, I could go into very beautiful experiences, like experiencing truth or the self, which was very blissful, and like, okay, the whole crap, whatever is here around me now when I was in a bad situation doesn't really exist once you go, you're with the self, you are the self. But this was a temporary thing. And now and it was not so much, I feel like it was still, well, I came to the point that I still couldn't deal with the relative self, with this body here, feather, needing to make money or having to deal with an argument with someone. Well, I could do a separation, but that was the ego doing it. I could see that after the Gnan very, very clearly, that the things I've attained was like, okay, enlightened states, not states, but only states, which come and go, and you're back in the relative self, and that's it. So the main thing now is that I feel it brings the relative self and the relative self and the pure soul. It brings these two together. Like, well, they're separated,
Yes.
but
You can see them
one
as
doesn't exclude the other one. Like, oh, this doesn't exist, which I personally, that Bharat maybe has not experienced that, but I personally experienced that I came to a point where, okay, this doesn't exist, but Feather said, well, I'm holding it, you can't tell that to me. I didn't believe that. It's not there. And according to, you have to make money, you have to pay your rent and all things, and when it's getting really harsh in your situation, then this everything doesn't exist, didn't help me anything. It helped me for going back, going to the self, or being, yeah, entering the self and enjoying this beautiful space. But I went out of it, and then the whole mess is
it's still there.
lying there.
Yes, yes. And now it seems like there is no conflict between the external, the relative world, and you.
Yes.
Yes. It's,
Yes.
you,
I feel like I've been given the key to have, yeah, be the pure soul and deal with Feather and make Feather do what Feather needs to do.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Which is depending on so many
Things, circumstances. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
And I've attained such a deeper knowledge. Well, I don't know even, I think it's still not in it. Well, I don't know where to put that, but I attained very, very deep knowledge. Like, it's going in so many subtle ways, because I'm living in a place in Tiruvannamalai where many seekers are there. But still, they're very nice seekers, but still there is people hurting each other. That is definitely still there, and I have been, I'm not better at that. And so this thing about what is here with the Gnan, like really the first thing, not to hurt someone.
Yes.
This is such, has the the most value for me now.
Yes.
Because that's the key to everything. That's how you make your life. That's how,
And yet everybody elsewhere also says, do not hurt anyone, do not hurt anyone. But somehow now you have found the real key with reference to how you can attain and be that, so that you really get to the point where you are really not hurting anyone, is it not? In other words, you get the real understanding of non-violence only when you step away from feather.
Yeah.
Until then, there is always one's own concept of non-violence through the medium of one's intellect and ego. You come to the place, it's almost as if you have entered the heart of the Lord, whatever you can conceive him to be, the fully enlightened one. It really doesn't matter who he is, as long as it is that experience, is it not? It will grow beautifully, because from where you have expressed this, it is directly from the center, without any modifications through the intellect. You feel it in your bones.
Yeah, that's the point. I feel it in my bones, even, and like I said, I received so much knowledge, but the way to put that, it's like it's such a subtle happening. I'm like, I hear some teachings, and then it's like, I'm so touched,
Yes.
I'm getting so touched through the way they're dealing with the ego, and in such subtle ways, like, don't even, don't pamper the ego, not in one way. Like, we receive help from all sides. They change our tickets. We changed our ticket twice already since we're here. We didn't do anything, actually. Other people were running around and doing that for us constantly, and I think they do that 25 times more if we want to do that. And they did, but then you want to give something. We are used, okay, give a gift for someone who helps us, so we do that. But then the people are like, no, I've done that really to serve you, and this is not Dada Bhagwan didn't want you to do that.
It's pure selfless service. You really get a taste of
service, and that makes so much sense, of course, because then immediately you're like, it comes about expectations, oh, I do that, maybe I get something. The ego immediately is there and saying, hello, oh, I was good, I've done something nice, or maybe I get something, and then you give a gift. Oh yeah, even your ego is like, oh, I give him something nice, and the whole thing starts again. So that's all not there. This is all not there, and that is that's the point, they go so deep here. Yeah, they catch it right from for me, it feels like they catch it right from the root.
Yes.
And it's not only that I understand it, it's like I felt it first. Because, when I told you how great your translations were, there was already the feeling like, I wonder how Vinod will react, because I felt like you say the good, like you give compliments to people and you say bad things to people. It's both duality, like it's both an ego thing. And and so that's, it goes in such subtle ways.
Yes.
It's like starting really from the root, and I haven't experienced that from a master. The most what I experienced from the masters will always be who you are, be authentic, be whatever you are, just empty the trash can, whatever like you could say, just be total, or
Except that they won't tell us how to empty the trash can. You just leave it to your imagination or your ideas of how to do that. And that is the beauty of the Gnan Vidhi. we